Stop believing the lie that the career pivot in 2026 means taking a pay cut and starting as an intern. Right now, you're sitting in a mid-level or a senior engineering role, an IT service management position, or a traditional operations job. You are watching the global pay freeze stall traditional engineering path. You are watching generative AI commoditize your coding and analytical skills you spent the last decade perfecting. The 2026 labor market is shifting violently, and technical stagnation is a death sentence for your salary. You want to pivot, you need to pivot, but the traditional career counselor and outdated HR blogs are telling you that to change industries, you must reset your clock to zero. They tell you to accept a junior title, take a 40% pay cut, and pay your dues all over again. This is a systematic lie designed to keep you cheap. What if you could jump into a high leverage role without ever feeling like a beginner again? While traditional technical paths are bottlenecking, a massive, highly lucrative talent gap is opening in high growth human resource systems and human capital architecture. By utilizing skill arbitrage, we are bridging this talent gap. You already possesses the exact engineering logic and the systems architecture mindset needed to dominate the new strategic HR landscape. You just haven't remapped it yet. Today, I'm showing you exactly how to extract your dormant seniority to bypass the entry-level reset entirely. This is a knowledge extraction sprint designed to turn your existing technical skills into immediate premium placement across the India and the UAE labor corridors. Grab a notebook. It is time to learn how to pivot into 2026 most lucrative sectors by leveraging the seniority you have already spent years building. Welcome back. I'm Dr. HR. To understand why my approach to the career pivoting is aggressively different from the academic theory you were taught, you must understand my underlying architecture. I do not look at career transition as an emotional journey or finding your passion. I look at them as a mathematical equation of supply, demand, and structural leverages. My foundation is deeply rooted in system architecture. I hold a bachelor's in engineering, specifically computer science, and I paired that highly algorithmic mindset with a master's in human resources from prestigious Tata Institute of Social Sciences (TISS) in Mumbai. And eventually, I earned my PhD in HR. Operating on the ground here in Dubai since 2010 and having consulted for over 20 apex corporate entities across the Middle East and India, I have learned exactly how institutional algorithms calculate value and how to manipulate those systems for maximum leverage. I made the exact pivot we are talking about today. I took a hard engineering background and arbitraged it into my apex of human capital strategy. My background in computer science means I understand exactly how algorithms and systems operate, and my PhD in HR means I know how to apply that logic to the most expensive volatile asset a company has, its people. Let us break down exactly what skill arbitrage is, how to map the India-UAE talent corridor, and how to execute your pivot without dropping a single dollar in compensation. Phase 1. The economics of skill arbitrage. You must first understand the economics definition of arbitrage. In finance, arbitrage is the simultaneously buying and selling of an asset in different markets to take advantage of differing prices for the exact same asset. In the labor market, the skill arbitrage is taking a capability that is highly commoditized in your current industry and moving it to an industry where that exact same capability is perceived as rare, the elite magic. Let me be brutally clear. If you are a middle-level Python developer, a Scrum Master, or a data analyst sitting in a massive IT service desk in Bangalore, Pune, or Hyderabad, you are a commodity. You are surrounded by 100,000 other professionals who possesses the exact same skill set. Because supply chain is infinite, your salary is capped and your leverage is zero. When AI coding assistant roll out, your department faces a pay freeze because your output can be automated. But what happens if you take that exact same system engineering mindset and walk into a human resource department of a multinational corporation in Dubai? Traditional HR departments are filled with administrators, psychology majors, and compliance officers. They do not know how to build a data pipeline. They do not know how to architect and automated workflows. They do not understand Lean Six Sigma or algorithmic efficiencies. When you apply an engineering framework to a human capital problem, You're no longer a commoditized coder, you become a human capital systems architect. You are applying technical frameworks to evolving global systems because you are the only person in the boardroom who can translate human behavior into mathematical algorithms and automated supply chain. Your value skyrockets. You did not learn a new skill. You simply moved your existing skill to a market where supply is zero. That is skill arbitrage. Phase 2. The India-UAE arbitrage corridor. To execute this pivot at the highest compensation level, you must understand the geographical, macroeconomical dynamics between the India and the UAE. This is the most lucrative talent corridor on earth if you know how to play it. The Indian capability engine. India is currently facing a massive squeeze in traditional IT and engineering sector. The massive global capability centers, the GCCs, are optimized for efficiency. The traditional path of software engineer to tech lead to the engineering manager is stalling out due to massive middle management automation. If you stay on that track, you are facing a 5-year pay freeze. But the rigorous, uncompromising technical foundations you built in India is your absolute greatest asset. The UAE deployment and strategy hub. The UAE operates on a completely different frequency, driven by the D33 economic agenda. Dubai is an apex deployment zone. They are importing global capital and building the corporate infrastructure of the future. The corporations here are desperately trying to integrate AI into their massive, diverse workforces. The CEOs in Dubai do not need more HR administrators who just process payroll and plan team building events. They are begging for structural integrators, leaders who possess the raw Indian technical rigor but can package it with executive strategy to restructure how the enterprise operates. Your play is to extract the engineering logic you forged in the Indian market, package it into a strategic HR and systems operation, and sell it at a premium to the UAE market. Phase 3. The knowledge extraction sprint. How do you actually convince a CEO to hire you as a senior HR systems director when your last title was senior DevOps engineer? You must execute a knowledge extraction sprint. You must stop talking about the tools you used and start talking about the systems you optimized. You are going to completely rewrite your professional history. You are not changing the facts, you are changing the translation. Translation 1. The Agile Scrum Master. Old engineering identity. I managed 2-week sprints for a software development team using Jira, ensuring codes were delivered on time. New HR system identity. I'm an expert in organizational velocity. I architected Agile performance management framework that increased department output by 30%. I re-engineered team structures to eliminate operational bottlenecks and accelerate project delivery. The arbitrage. You just pivoted from a software project manager to an organization development, the OD director. Translation 2. The data analyst, the data scientist. Old engineering identity. I wrote SQL queries and built Tableau dashboards to track website user metrics and server uptimes. New HR system identity. I am a people analyst architect. I built predictive attrition models that identify flight risks in critical executive talent, mathematically protecting millions of dollars in institutional intellectual property. I translate complex workforce data into P&L impact for the executive board. The arbitrage. You just pivoted from a back-end analyst to a highly compensated people analytical leader. Translation 3. The systems network engineer. Old engineering identity. I configured server, managed API, integrations between legacy software, and ensured network security. The new HR systems identity. I am an HR technology and automation orchestrator. I integrate disparate siloed human capital software into a single automated ecosystem. I deploy localized AI agent to eliminate tier 1 administrative friction, recovering thousands of hours of cognitive bandwidth for the enterprise. The arbitrage. You just pivoted from IT support to head of HR technology. He already possesses the engineering logic. You just haven't remapped the vocabulary yet. Phase 4. Bypassing the entry-level reset. When you sit down for the interview, the hiring manager will inevitably ask the trap question. You have a great technical experience, but you have never formally worked in HR. We might need to bring you in at a manager level rather than a director level. This is where you execute the insider secret framework to bypass the entry-level reset and protect your seniority. You do not apologize for your lack of traditional HR experience, you weaponize it. You look the CHRO or the CEO directly in the eye, and you can use the contrarian truth. With respect, you are not hiring me to do traditional HR. Your traditional HR is already doing a fantastic job with payroll, compliance, and the basic employee relations. If you want another traditional HR administrator, there are 500 people in the lobby who can do that. You are bringing me in at the director level, especially because I am not a traditional HR professional. You are bringing me in because your HR department is drowning in manual processes. Your talent acquisition pipeline is sluggish, and you have no structural data integration. My lack of legacy HR baggage is my greatest asset. I am here to apply hard systems engineering framework to your capital operations to save this company $3 million in operational waste next year. This is a director level mandate. When you position your pivot not as a career change but as an architectural intervention, you completely neutralize the experience gap. You force the executive to view you not as a junior HR rep learning the ropes, but as an elite external consultant arriving to fix their broken machinery. Phase 5. Executing the 2026 strategy. To actually execute this arbitrage in the next 90 days, you must follow a strict, uncompromising protocol. Step 1. Destroy the old resume. Delete the chronological listing of coding language and technical jargon. Replace it with the functional resume highlighting the system optimization, predictive analytics, and workflow automation. Step 2. Calibrate the LinkedIn backend. Do not use the public open to work banner. Go to the backend setting, visibly only to recruiters. Set your target title to HR Transformation Director, Head of People Analytics, and the HR Tech Integrator. Set your target location to Apex Hub like Dubai, United Arab Emirates. You must intercept the search queries of a companies desperately for hybrid technical strategic talent. Step 3. Build the proof of concept. Portfolio. Do not just claim you understand HR systems. Build a prototype. Use a weekend to build a custom GPT or an automated Zapier workflow that handles a mock onboarding process or an employee relation ticketing system. Walk into the interview, open your laptop and say, I analyzed your current HR onboarding flow. It takes your team 3 days. I built this localized architectural model that automates it in 40 seconds. Let me show you how it works. No one starts from the bottom when they bring structural solution to the executive table. Look closely at the global market. The professionals who are panicking right now are the ones who believe their value is permanently tied to a single job title. They are the ones allowing the algorithm to commoditize their capability. They accept the pay freezes. They accept the stagnation. You must reject the narrative. You possesses a dormant seniority. You possesses a rigorous engineering logic that the strategic HR landscape is desperately starving for. Skill arbitrage is the ultimate cheat code of the 2026 labor market. It is a bridge between the technical talent saturation in India and the massive strategic demand in the US. Stop believing you have to start over. Stop accepting the entry-level reset. Extract your knowledge, translate your capability, and forcefully claim the executive ceiling. If you are a professional ready to completely rewire your systematic approach to the global labor market and execute this exact pivot, the ultimate manual is waiting for you. For the record, my brand new book, The 2026 Career Architect, is officially live and available for download right now exclusively on namaste.ai. The book is a culmination of the years of computer science and HR frameworks applied directly to the global labor market. It contains the exact resume, translation matrices, the backend LinkedIn calibration tactics, and the advanced negotiation script you need to execute a premium skill arbitrage. Stop accepting the reset. Start architecturing your leverage. Process the blip, execute the strategy, and I'll see you at the top.